Talk me through the conversation you had with your 3-month-old baby about consent.
I just need to change your nappy now to make you comfortable.
And your 3-month-old baby said what in response?
Consent is a pretty important topic these days, and it's something everybody should be educated on. It ranges from intimacy, legal binding, a simple agreement, or in today's case, changing a diaper. Yes, you heard me correctly. If you're changing your baby's diaper on your own accord, you're violating their privacy. That is what sexuality expert Diaper Carson campaigned for on Good Morning Britain in 2018. This video being 5 years old blows me away that I've never seen it before, considering how ridiculous it is. Before we go any further, I don't know a whole lot about British television, let alone Good Morning Britain specifically, and apparently Reddit tells me that they hire crazy people to just say stupid things just to get views. Obviously, it's a big media outlet, so they fabricate it in some way, shape, or form, but I couldn't find an article saying this is specifically fake. So this whole clip could be fake or staged or, you know, somewhat fabricated, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt and just assume this woman is batshit crazy.
Right, Jane. You think that parents should ask their children's consent when they are babies to change their nappy? Is this not sexualizing the interaction between a parent and child? Because actually, it's just a parent's job to change a nappy, isn't it? It's just a normal, natural, innocent thing.
I do agree that changing the diaper is obviously an innocent and, you know, natural thing, but this toast saying it's sexualizing the relationship I think is an extreme reach. People often associate the word consent with anything sexual, but really, as we stated before, it's simply just an agreement.
There's nothing sexual about consent. If I was to say, oh, Suzanne, it's really lovely to meet you, I would love to give you a hug, I would wait for you to communicate with me
because
whether that's
two adults.
Well, it's even more important to do it with a baby. You're building a baby's
baby
brain.
can't respond. And also,
have you got kids?
Of course. I've worked with children.
How many have you got?
I've got one, and I've fostered, and I've
Talk
been
me
a
through the conversation you
childminder.
had with your 3-month-old baby about consent. How did they go?
It would have gone. I just need to change your nappy now to make you comfortable.
And your 3-month-old baby said what in response?
Of course, we would know that a 3-month-old baby can't speak.
And this is where I knew that this lady was an absolute fucking lunatic. When Piers Morgan is your voice of reason.
So how did your little boy, aged 3 months, communicate to you that it was okay to change his nappy?
It's not the okay, it's the respect.
How do they give consent?
Well, that you can see in a body, in the body energy of any human being.
Talk me through it. Show me what he would do.
Well, if a baby is upset, then you will see tension, a body arch,
Jane,
something like that.
plenty of babies don't like it when you change their nappy. I mean, we've all, as parents, had to change the nappy of a child who doesn't. But you have to override that for the hygiene and safety of the baby.
So what I take away from this is that don't change your baby's diaper when they're pissed off. Well, I can imagine any baby with shit-filled pants isn't exactly going to be thrilled.
In the same way that if you were an adult and you were immobile and non-verbal and somebody had to touch you and clean you, you would like somebody to say,
we're fully grown adults who can communicate.
Is it okay if I touch you now? Even though
this whole hypothetical she has, if you were a grown adult and couldn't verbalize consent or whatever when you're getting your diaper changed, is what I'm assuming she's going for, makes no sense. It kind of backtracks her whole argument since adults aren't babies. And I don't know if I'm hearing her correctly at this last bit, but I'm pretty sure she says if you're in a coma.
If I touch you now,
even though let me bring in Hillary.
Which is actually so stupid to say when you apply that logic. Let's say someone's passed out on the street, you know, their heart stopped or whatever, and you can't consent to giving them CPR, so you just let them die.
This sounds completely nuts to me, right? No baby aged 3 months old can possibly communicate anything about having a nappy change. And if you don't change its nappy because it doesn't give you consent because it wobbles its head in a certain way, then that is, I'm afraid, abusive parenting.
Exactly, you can't leave a baby in a dirty nappy. And the thing is, consent. Children can't give consent. That's why that's why we have an age of consent, because children under the age of 16 can't consent. So we have to, as responsible parents, we have to decide for them what's good for them. And
as a responsible parent, you want to raise your child to know that their body belongs to them. Think of the NSPCC pants campaign. It all hinges on.
I couldn't agree more with this woman, because Diaper Carson's mentality honestly totally nullifies the age of consent. I know when I was a dumb 5-year-old, I was definitely sitting around in my piss underwear playing video games, and my parents would make me change my underwear. Is that violating my privacy? No, I'm just a stupid kid who can't make decisions for myself and need help from parents, because that's what parents do.
I would like to change your nappy. Oh, your shoulders slump.
Yes, that's a relaxation.
So if the baby's shoulders slump, it is refusing consent. So
no, that was giving.
Are you giving consent? I'm sorry.
No. All looking for is
Sorry, I got it wrong. So the signal...
that's a bit of a worry, isn't it?
So the shoulder sloping is consent?
Well, it may be in one baby. Every human
You mean
being,
another baby, it might be the opposite?
All
How do we know?
you're doing is
How do I know as a parent whether it's giving me consent or not?
Because you tune into your baby from birth onwards if you're not on your phone all the time.
Okay, so
Basically, she says that if your child does a specific shoulder shrug, that's a sign that your baby is ready to get their diaper changed. But then she also says that it's different for every child, and you should know your baby well enough to know what gesture is inviting the diaper change.
and if your baby doesn't give consent with its tension, and it's one of the babies where the tension means no, not yes, even though it can be yes.
You learn
not
your
no.
own baby.
What do you do? Do you leave your baby to rot in its nappy?
I've made that very clear that you would never do that.
So what would you do?
You just wait for a moment.
What if it's like 3 days?
But a
That's
baby of
just
3 months
ridiculous.
isn't
That's
aware.
that's ridiculous. Honestly, sorry.
I feel like this was honestly a rational question by peers. Like, hey, well, what if they take forever to give you consent? You just let them sit there in their mess? And then she has the audacity to say that's ridiculous, like everything she said isn't ridiculous. Her ideology of like teaching kids that their body is their body, you know, like they should like, you know, have boundaries is wonderful. But pressing that ideology on newborns who have absolutely no idea what the fuck is going on is so stupid. That's really the only upside to her argument. Everything else is pretty stupid, and I think not necessarily harmful, but I think it's meant to just make parents feel bad and kind of like trick them into parenting them the way that she wants them to be parented. But that about wraps up my video. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Comment if you'd like, and as always, thank you for watching.
I'm gonna let it rip. If he talking down, then I'm gonna make him do a flip. Bust all on a lip while I smoke this zip. I'm gonna be outside. I think it's time to take a trip.